All right, guys, welcome back to another video of your man Jay. This is the Tank. This is a phone that I brought you a while back. This is basically a rugged style device. It is a smartphone, but it has a lot of functionality. So if you're an outdoors person, or just a person who just are interested in phones like this, definitely take a look at this. So you've got a pretty eclectic setup here. You've got obviously you have the camping lights. You've seen this before. I reviewed the Tank 2 for you. And I brought you the Tank 1 as well a while back, I believe. But you've got the camping lights here. It's a very bright light. It also has like security lights. I'll show you that, police lights, just like on the other one. And then you have this camera array back here, as you can see. So you do have a 200 megapixel camera, a 64 megapixel camera, which is a super night vision camera. And then you have a 8 megapixel telephoto lens. And so, you've got obviously a different LED light back there. And then you've got on the front here, you have a very high power camera as well. But most of the times when you see devices like this, you're not really in it so much for the cameras, you're in it for what it can do. And this is a powerful device. It's got a 23,800 milliamp hour battery inside. Yeah, it's running Android 13. It's got 512 gigs of storage, 32 gigs of RAM, a laser rangefinder. There's a bunch on here on this device, man. There's just a lot going on with it. And it's going to run you, and this is the biggest battery in any smartphone that I know of. The Tank 2 had a 22,000. They were able to get another 800 milliamps into this thing, and it is ginormous, man. We'll take a look at the hardware in just a second here. One important factor about this thing is that it has... show it to you. 120 watt fast charger. This is crazy. This phone charges with 120 watts. That's very impressive. Very impressive. So again, the 32 gigs of RAM on here is 16 virtual, obviously, and then you got 16 on board. But I've been playing with this for a little bit, and it's actually it's been a few days since I got this like 2 weeks ago, but I was waiting for the launch of the device, and that's why I didn't show it to you yet. But yeah, this is a 4 nanometer chip in here as well, which is a Dimensity 8200, folks. This is a 5G chip, so it will work in the US, even though these are being sold on different websites throughout the US. It's not an official device for the US, but it is a device that works in the US, meaning it'll work on T-Mobile and most prepaid companies. AT&T, I don't think you should try it there, but because this is an $800 device. So, I think you should tread lightly. Obviously, I think they have a good return policy, but yeah, tread lightly when you have AT&T, Cricket, and places like that. But pretty much any other place looks like it'll probably work there. I've tested these on T-Mobile, Google Fi, different places like that, and it seems to work perfectly fine. So just tread lightly when you're thinking about what carrier you want to use this on and things like that. So, but nonetheless, it does have 120 hertz display. And I think, go with something like this on this device, be mindful of the screen displays like this. They are here. I've seen plenty of, it was on 90. I've seen plenty of devices like this that don't, but this brand right here, obviously they do. This is Unihertz brand. This is a Unihertz built device. It's the 8849 Tank 3. So 120 hertz, 6.79 inch display, so 6.8 inches basically. That's a pretty hefty. It's right in line with other devices that have 120 hertz. When you line up the price and the specs, this one just has the bigger battery. This is a heavy device, man. I kid you no lie. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a bulky device. So if you're an outdoorsy person, or if you're not an outdoorsy person, you're interested in this phone, just be ready to have your Bluetooth if you don't exercise regularly. Because, you're going to, it's got some weight to it. I'm being honest. So again, yeah, it has a 200 megapixel AI camera on the back, which is incredible. I'll show you that. And the front is a 50 megapixel selfie shooter. So that's pretty cool. And the supercharging on here is fairly fast. You don't see a lot of these rugged phones like this now coming with Wi-Fi 6, but this one has Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.3. All the latest things that a person could possibly want. So with all that said, and all that all adds up to what? It adds up to a pretty decent device. For $799, you're getting enough. And really where this one trumps other devices is going to be the hardware, because you get a 22,800 milliamp hour battery that's going to take weeks to kill. Weeks. So on the back here, I'll show you these lights, but this kind of have like this textured carbon fiber area around here. This is that same metal body that it has around here. This is the SIM tray, and you'll see that it has the water resistant seal on there. You can do dual SIM and SD card as well, because you can go up to a terabyte on the SD card. Yeah, that's incredible. You got your laser up there, you got your projection up there, and you got the volume rocker here and these two customizable buttons. And again, on the bottom, when you get down in here, you'll see an audio jack and your Type-C. And so, you know, this is sealed up pretty tightly. You got a lanyard. This phone is like metal everywhere, so you got a lanyard spot there. So it's an impressive device. So if you want to get into everything, you want to go into the toolbox, and that's where you'll find all the goodies. So here's where the goodies are. This is where and again, remember I told you, if you're an outdoorsy person, this flashlight right here is a joke. You don't want to use that. You want to use the actual camping lights, and the camping lights are bright. So we'll go full brightness real quick. You can see how it is on the desk there. I don't want to point this towards your eyes, but it is bright at night, folks. And then you've got half bright and then slight bright. And then you've got, if you're having seizures or things like that, look away right now. And you got your SOS. But a lot of people get into the toolbox, and they're going to go with these simulators right here. These are like the police lights and things like that. Very cool. And obviously you can change. Now, one thing also to note, that this is also one of the louder phones on the market. As far as the speaker quality goes. This is a loud speaker, and the speaker is actually back here on the bottom, but you know, you're cuffing it like this, and man, it is loud. It is very loud. You probably saw me activate Google right there, because you can do that. So this does run Android 13, and I would suggest putting a launcher on it, because you're not going to really be able to customize this device with certain things that you normally would do on other devices, because of the overlay that's on here from this device. But you do have a shortcut button here. And remember, I told you this is where you add those functionality of these two buttons right here. But I mean, getting into this, it's just going to be a ginormous battery with a phone and a whole bunch of camping gear that goes along with it. That's really what it is. But aside from that, folks, I do want to show you the cameras on here. And I think that's where you'll probably be surprised. So I'm going to cut, and I'm going to drop in some photos and video of everything, and then we'll get out of here. So there you have it, folks. I really adequate cell phone. It's an adequate smartphone. It has all the functionality and features of a device that a person could possibly want. I think that even the price is not a deterrent. It shouldn't be. $800 for this device is not bad at all, actually, because you're getting what you want. It's just at a sacrifice. And this is it right here. This device is heavy, man. It's like it's just carrying around a big battery. But after using it for the last week and a half or so, it's a smartphone. It's a smartphone. It's a piece of tech that is out there for someone. Would I use this? Of course I would. I mean, I have so many use case scenarios for this device. It's incredible. Especially just a weekend warrior. This thing, I could probably keep this in my car, and every time I want to pull it out, or I'm going somewhere for the weekend, I'm going to use this. I'm going to pop my SIM card in this. It's just that simple. It does everything I want it to do and more, especially, again, on the battery side. And if you're shocked at how good those cameras are, don't be. We got to get ourselves away from brand, thinking that certain brands have the best of everything. Now, it is true that certain brands do show improve and are very consistent with what they have to offer. But reality is, this is just another option. I'm not trying to sway you. Oh, you need to get this, because some of you guys already bought the previous generations based on your comments and your feedback. You're like, Jay, actually, I'm into this. And this is another one right here that's actually really solid, man. I mean, now granted, I've only been using this for almost 2 weeks or whatever. However, it's not something that I could daily drive. This has to be something that is 3 to 4 days. Okay. And then I need to go back to something to get me back to reality. But it is so useful. Now, I am a soldier at heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm a soldier at heart. So if I needed to use this and I was an outdoor person, I would be used to it. I would pretty much just get me a Bluetooth earbud, a good headset, and I will always be on. Or it will be in my backpack and I will be plugged in. You see what I'm saying? So there's a use case for this device. Yeah. It's out there for someone. Yeah, this isn't a bad phone at all. It's just the sacrifice is just how heavy it is. And again, for me, it's heavy, but it's manageable for me. Obviously, I wouldn't have this in my pocket when I'm trying to work out or something like that. This is a backpack type deal. You just go in your satchel, your man purse, or whatever you want to call it. You can't carry this in your pocket and think it's going to be comfortable, even after just a few minutes. But other than that, folks, I mean, the Tank 3 it's a go. I mean, just having this sit right here by it, you need this too, because it took a little bit of time for this to charge up. It has fast charging, but it did take a little bit of time to charge up. I mean, it took about an hour or two, I think maybe 2.5 hours. I was kind of clocking it. I was like, wow, it gets that burst of power, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's really low, because it came in at like 7 or 8%. And I was like, whoa, I got to charge this thing up. And it gets that burst all the way to like 60% or whatever, 70%. And then it starts to trickle charge a little bit down to get it, make sure the battery stays at a good temperature. But other than that, it's a win, man. I mean, there's somebody for this device. And I think if you search hard enough, you'll find people out there that really live off the land, or you're just into new tech or new technologies and things that are just different and eclectic. And that is what the Tank is. It's your man, Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.